You know, April 13th may not seem like the right time of the year to be testing to see what is the best brush gun cartridge, but we've got 4 candidates here, and they're all very different. And at the end of the day, I hope we can find one of them that is better than the rest at getting through the brush. Stay tuned. It's going to be fun. Hi, George here, and welcome to Tales from Target Suite, where I'll share my perspective on guns and shooting, and we'll spend some time at the range, and every now and then we'll reconvene out in my shop back in Houston, or here at the farm in Louisiana, where I'll build some fun projects, and we'll share an adventure or two that'll make even a grown man smile. And yes, today we are going to look at 4 very distinct cartridges and see if one of them will really stand out at getting through the brush. And the brush in this case are some, I'm calling them test coupons that I put together from a holly tree that was in the wrong place in the yard back at the house. And I'll talk more about the test setup in just a minute. But first, what is a brush gun cartridge? And I would just say, I mean, there's a lot of thoughts out there about it, but in my mind, a brush gun, the ideal brush gun cartridges is probably going to be a fairly heavy, a fairly heavy projectile, a fairly slow one, and one with a round or flat nose. And the idea is that a bullet like that is going to get through the brush without deflecting too much. So hopefully at the end of the day, we're going to find a candidate here that does better than the rest, as I said. Before I start shooting, let me introduce you to these rifles. And I was about to make the same mistake I made in a previous video, where I didn't really talk much about the rifles, because I know that's what you guys show up for a lot, is you want to know about these guns. And so this particular one is a Marlin Model 1894. It's from 1979. It's really nice. I've had it for, I don't know, a year, and had to do a little bit of work to make it work right and be smooth, but it's a nice rifle in .44 Remington Magnum. And I have high hopes for this being the ultimate brush gun. And then here is what people would think would be the quintessential brush gun. This is the Marlin Model 336, and it is in what people would think is a quintessential caliber, 30-30 Winchester. Now, this rifle belongs to a friend of mine named Ron, and he likes to have a scope on his rifle. And so, be that as it may, it's a nice gun. It's a JM Marlin. I believe this one is from 1988. I had to put my glasses on. But it's a nice rifle. Shoots really well. And then here's a modern 4570. This is the Henry X model. It's fairly new. It was just introduced in a couple of 3 months ago at SHOT Show in 2020, 4570. It's got a thread protector there on the end if you want to put a silencer on it. It's got a little pick rail right here if you want to put a flashlight. And you can check this thing out in one of the more recent videos that I did. And so we've got polymer stocks. Black finish. Looks a little tactical. Nice rifle. I love it. And it shoots very well. This is a 1980, early 80s Remington Model 700 ADL, and the ADL means it has no floor plate. And so when you want to unload your magazine, you have to just cycle the bolt time and again to get all the rounds out. And so that's why that's one of the things that makes this an ADL. Really nice rifle, and this rifle shoots with some factory ammunition. It shoots really, really well. It's a sub-MOA rifle. And right now, I've got my Nikon scope on top of it. And so that's a really sweet rifle. This belongs to my son-in-law. And one day, I'm sure my grandson is going to shoot this rifle. And so those are the rifles that we're going to shoot today. And this one is in .243 Winchester. And that is a very small, very light bullet compared to all of the other rifles we're going to shoot. The 4570 is going to be shooting a 500 grain bullet, a 405 grain bullet. And the The 30-30 is going to be shooting a 170 grain bullet, and the 44 Magnum is going to be shooting a 240 grain bullet. And so this 243 Winchester shoots a very small diameter, very light bullet. And I fully expect the bullets out of this rifle are going to deflect when they hit my test coupons. Okay, so now let's really get set up and do some shooting. And I'll talk about the test scenario as we go. And let's get going. And so right now, I'm going to send 3 rounds downrange. And then I'm going to walk you through the test setup. We're going to shoot for each rifle first, just at a target. And then we'll get out our coupons and see what happens. And I'm telling you, we're going to experience this the first time together because I have not tested any of this. So let me shoot 3 rounds downrange just at the target. And by the way, these are hand loads that I put together behind that Nosler bullet, and they're traveling around 1,700 feet per second. Okay, stay with me here because this is all going to come together here in just a minute, and you'll understand what we're doing. But the first thing I want to do, is to mark the impact of the three rounds we just shot. Now I'm going to go back up and we'll set up the test fixture with the brush coupons, and we'll shoot through 3 more rounds here. And if they are deflected by the coupons, we'll be able to tell the distinction from these original 3 rounds right here. So let's go see what's going to happen. Because I haven't done this. I've done no test work on this whole setup. It may be a complete bust, or we may just have some, we may find all kinds of great information here. But here's our test fixture, and you can see the target is right there. And I've got 2 coupons, and I'm going to attach them right here. And right there. Now we're going to go back up here and we're going to shoot. And I'm actually going to be able to see the outline of the target on either side of the test coupons. And so I should be able to get a fairly good bead on the target. It's not going to be quite as precise because these are in the way, but I think it's going to be close enough. So let me quit talking. Let's go shoot the other 3 and see what happens. I can't wait. Okay, everything's set up downrange. Test coupons are now blocking the path to the target. And when I shoot these through at these 3 at the target, I should penetrate both test coupons, and then whatever impact on the target will have seen the influence of the test coupons. Now, they may not deviate at all, or they may miss the target altogether and either hit my camera or my test stand, but we'll see. It's going to be fun. This is my first shot. I have not practiced this at all, so here we go. One shot. Let me go set up some more coupons. We're going to do 3 shots with 3 different sets of coupons. I'm fixing to go downrange for the first time and see what happened going through these coupons. Okay, I went downrange and checked, and like I said, I haven't tested this whole theory out, and not one of the rounds that went through the test coupon actually made it to the target. And I'm only shooting at 25 yards. So, and I had 2 test coupons set up. I had two test coupons set up end to end, as you saw. And so I'm going to shoot this again, same target, but I'm only going to use one test coupon instead of two. And let's see if I can get them on paper with just one test coupon. But that was really a surprising result, especially with something like the 44 Magnum. So let me shoot another group with just one test coupon. Okay, hopefully we have some data this time. Okay, we got some data from that. We actually had some impacts that we could find, and I'm going to shoot now the 30-30. This is just without any coupons in place. We're going to establish a group, and then we'll shoot through the coupons as well. So let's try this out. Okay, we've got the test coupons in place, or the test coupon singular. There is the 4570 target. We'll look at it closer in just a minute. And I intended to shoot 300 grain jacketed hollow points through there, and I actually shot the 405 grain Acme bullets, and they were completely off target, the 405 grain hard cast bullets. And so I'm going to reshoot that with the 300 grain Hornady hollow point bullets. Okay, these are 300 grain jacketed hollow points from Hornady, hand loads, in front of Varget powder, and they're fairly stout. So we're going to start with, as we usually do, with 3 rounds on the bare target without any test coupons in the way. Okay, normally about now, when you see a guy sitting by the fire, you're going to bail out. But we've got some results we want to talk about. And first thing I'm going to do is go through the what I'll call the surprise failures. And then we'll get closer and closer to home as we go. But the first one is the Henry X model with the 405 grain hard cast bullet. And the initial group was fairly weak. You can see this is a fairly large group at 25 yards. And that load, just FYI, was optimized for my Winchester 1886. and it shoots that load a whole lot better than the Henry did. But then when I turn around and I shoot through the test coupons, I get one shot here, and I get one shot way over here, about 3 inches off the paper, and one shot here, about 2 inches off the paper. And so that deflection is pretty extreme. And so I'm really surprised how the 405 grain Acme hard cast bullets, I'm really surprised how much they deflected. Okay, next one. 44 Magnum, man. Oh gosh, this one hurt. The initial group, these are hand loads, 240 grain Nosler soft point bullets, jacketed soft point. The initial group was really nice. And then I had one shot way down here off the paper, 3 inches off the paper, another shot right here, and another shot right here. And so we're talking about a foot spread, probably a foot spread on that deflected group at 25 yards. And so if you extrapolate that out to 75 yards, a reasonable range for a brush gun, you're talking about a group that's 3 feet in diameter. That's totally unacceptable as for a brush gun. Okay, the Remington 700 243, we all expected this one to fail. It failed in kind of an interesting way. The initial group right there is pretty good. That's about 0.3 inches. And then, shooting through the test coupons, we have a keyhole right there. And the really interesting one is this keyhole right here. And you can see where the bullet actually started, the jacket started to peel back. That's a really interesting keyhole right there. And then the third shot was way up here off of the paper. And so no surprise to most people, I'm sure, the 243 95 grain bullet, not in the woods. Yep, that's a no-go. All right, Marlin 336 150 grain round nose. There you go. Initial group, really nice here in the middle. Okay, that's about a 0.6 inch group, and the deflected group is 1, 2, 3. That's about 5 inches. Okay, so that doesn't look too bad there, and it's centered. But if we extrapolate again, we extrapolate that out to 75 yards. That 5-inch group, it becomes a 15-inch group. And so you're very likely to either miss or wound a deer or pig-sized animal if you hit something like one of my test coupons. So the 30-30 150 grain round nose bullet, that was disappointing. So anyway, 30-30 brush gun. Man, wow. Okay, and that gets us to the final one. And this is the one that I intended to shoot out of the 4570, and that's the 300 grain jacketed hollow point. And those are Hornady bullets. And the initial group right here was about 1 inch and say 1.3 inches. And then we've got 3 deflections right here that are fairly close. They didn't deflect very far. I'd say center of group to center of group is about 2 inches. And so if that's real data, then at 75 yards, your group would expand to about 6 inches. So you're still going to be on target if your shot was right. But even then, that's pretty good deflection. But one interesting thing here, and I can't explain it, but the initial impacts right here, you can tell they left kind of a jagged hole, and a fairly small caliber jagged hole where the paper actually pushed out of the way. But the bullets that went through the test coupon, look at that. It's like wad cutters. Clean holes of a much bigger diameter. So you tell me what you think happened there. That's really interesting. Large diameter, bigger than 45 caliber. Large diameter holes versus these smaller ragged holes. But if there is such a thing as a brush gun scenario based on my test today, again, based on the test scenario that I set up, the 4570 300 grain hollow points really offer the only dare I say, reasonable accuracy after going through the test coupons. Surprising stuff for me. I am really surprised. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you're staying safe in the midst of this worldwide pandemic. I'm serious about that. I hope you're staying safe, and I hope this is all going to be behind us fairly soon. But anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.